like, hit that like, let's go. All right, bang, bang. We are off like a bullet. Let's go. Welcome back to Blunt Politics on what is a day where most people on Earth should be in, I guess, a celebratory mood or in at least a good mood. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everybody that celebrates. I appreciate you being here on what is undoubtedly a family day, a day to be with friends and family to give thanks to the resurrection of Christ and hopefully the resurrection of our goddamn country, right? And also happy 420 to everybody else, right? And I'm sure there's some crossover there. I'm sure there's some crossover, but happy 420. Smoke them if you got them. Drink them if you're drinking. Coffee, tea, Heineken, Guinness, whatever it may be. Let's friggin' go. Hit that like button. Lots to get into, lots to talk about. I really appreciate you guys. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. No, not Twitter. Not up on Twitter. Twitch is what I meant to say, and YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Please make sure you smash the like. Please subscribe to the channel if you are not yet. It is free to do so. You don't have to pay a dime. It doesn't cost you a dime to do so. On Twitch, I don't know what you do on there still. Thumbs up, subscribe. I don't know. I actually thought I saw somebody that had a Twitch channel where it was like $8 to subscribe to the channel. Is that a thing on Twitch? Because I hope that's not what's going on over there. I would certainly hope you're not paying $8 to subscribe to a friggin' Twitch channel. That's crazy to me. But, you know, people do what they got to do, I guess. But not in my liking. All right, let's bring in the chat. First off, thank you to the mods that are here on the holiday. I appreciate you being here, Tanya. Thank you so much. Are you fighting in the weeds alone? No, you are not, because Mark Kremer is right behind you. How you doing, Mark? How are you? Thank you for your services, buddy. Happy Easter to the both of you. Thank you guys so much for being here, keeping that chat safe. Julie, Evie's on. Thank you. How are you? Cecilia, how are you? Trina, Bob, let's go. Ron, what's going on? You don't like my music? Well, I do like your music. But how are you, my man? Roxanne, what's going on? Beth, Jay. Hi, Jen. How are you? Happy anniversary to you guys. What a messed up anniversary to have. 420, Hitler's birthday, all the other things that come with it. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, guys. Benny Loco, how are you, dear? Moms, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love you, Brian and Mel and Logan. Let's go, guys. Twitch is $4.99. That's even expensive, right? I mean, why? Why? I mean, I know if you have Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost you a dime, everybody says. But that's only for one channel, right? Obviously. So I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I saw someone's channel. The lowest that they had was $8. I don't know if they're allowed to change it themselves or if Twitch changes that or whatever. But that's crazy. That is crazy. But again, YouTube, free to subscribe. And if you want to go an extra mile, right? If you want to become a channel member, it's $1.99 on YouTube. Why would you do anything else? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But I appreciate you. Nordez already gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Nordez. I appreciate you. And who snuck one in early? Oh, Sally. Happy Easter. Thank you, Pope Francis, for making J.D. Vance take a humanitarian lesson. Didn't he meet with him? I don't know. I saw a couple different things where people saying he didn't meet with him. He did meet with him. I thought I saw that he did meet with him. Right? But let me know in the chat. It's $2.99 now. What's $2.99 now? What's $2.99 now? On YouTube? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. If that's what you're talking about. But we'll have to figure that out. I appreciate you. Look, we can even get fancy here. We can even get fancy. Check this out. You guys want to see into the home of the Poly Market, Home Depot, Walmart, CIA studios, right? Check this out. All right. All right, let's go. Let's go. A little behind the scenes action, a little behind the scenes action on the holidays, a little more laid back. But we have a lot to get into. We had more protests around the country that are going to continue. As I said, they're going to continue and getting bigger. We didn't have one in Boston. We see you, but can't hear you. Oh yeah, I don't think you might not have audio on that one. You might not have audio. I think that's just kind of like a look see. Might be a look see. I'll have to figure that one out in a we'll deal with that later. Right now it's just looking. Um anyway, like I was saying, protests around the country. We didn't have one in Boston, but for good reason. There were people out there with signs and stuff, but there was no official 50 51. It's worth 299. It's worth 299 or Boston Brian. I hope that's for Boston Brian. And I'll have to figure out that 299 thing. I don't know what's going on there. Is that like a YouTube wide thing? Or like what's going on with that? Because I don't like that. That means I got to change what I say, right? They didn't notify me. I don't like that. Hey Tiff, how are you? Appreciate you being here, Tiff. Thank you for your services. Happy Easter. I was just talking about how the 50 51 protests were happening nationwide, but in Boston they were um, they were kind of postponed or canceled, so to speak, because of the it's Patriots Day. We have a bunch of Boston Marathon celebrations going on over the weekend. Lots of people in the city, and of course, as everybody should, or if you don't remember, in 2013, the Boston Marathon bombing. So we didn't really as far as what I read on the Discord, it didn't, and I agree with it. It wasn't. They wanted to be able to keep it safe, and with that many people in the city, you just there's no way to be able to keep everybody safe. So they would rather kind of let the Patriots Day and marathon celebrations go on, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I did see the. Yeah. I saw the Paul Revere's ride. That was pretty cool, and like I said. People were out there with signs. Believe me, there were people out there showing their passion and giving their opinions, and God bless them. It just wasn't, like I said, unofficial like the April 1st one. But yeah, we'll be taking a look at some video of the nationwide protests. We'll be talking about SCOTUS, obviously blocking Trump's deportations under the Alien Enemies Act, and what that entails. We'll be talking about Putin and his so-called Easter ceasefire that didn't last, but I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, I think it was, or something like that, and how that was broken. Senator Van Hollen finally met with Abrego Garcia, which we're going to take a look at. I believe he sat down this morning with one of the Sunday news channels, so we'll take a look at what he had to say on that. What else do we got? I think that about covers it. And oh yeah, we got some more news. Remember the video Cody Johnston that we looked at a couple of weeks ago? He's got another one out on the immigration situation going on. And yeah, if we have time, there's a few other things that I'd like to get to, but who knows if we'll have time. But yeah, make sure you click the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Subscribing's free. Leave a comment, share it out, hop in the chat. Happy Easter. You're eating your ham, your mashed potatoes, right? Huh? You got them mashed potatoes on your face and everything. Pack that bomb. Whatever you're gonna do, we're gonna have some fun doing it. And I appreciate you guys being here as always. Uh oh. I don't like when I have two black screens. It's never a good thing. And we're back. Who was that? Slacks? Was that Slacks I missed? Slavu Kraini, happy and peaceful Easter to you, Brian, Mel, and Dunga Redog Logan. Much love. Same to all the Bryantologists. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. I don't know if I'm on the stage or off the stage, if you can see me, or if I am frozen. That's awesome. That's awesome. What did I just do? At the stage? am gone. I don't understand. Hello? Help? Oh, there I am. Oh, no. Hold on. What is going on? This thing is going nuts. Oh, Jesus. That is hilarious. That was great. I don't listen. Yes, overhead audio. No more buttons. You are on. All right, let's go. People are just messing with me. I swear to God. I swear to God. God, I swear to you. Why do people just mess with me? I don't. That was awesome. You were never frozen on the screen? Well, there was weird shit going on here. All right, let's get into it if I can without crashing the system. You know what I'm gonna close these ones. I'm gonna close the Pete Hegseth story that I failed to mention that we were gonna get to the craziness happening at the Pentagon. I'll close those out. But somebody remind me to get to those, please. just remind me to get back to those. That's it. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. All right, let's get into it. Jeepers creepers. It's always fun here. You know what I mean? It's always a good time. It's always a good time. Always a good time. All right, let's start with El Putino. El Putino, the push. We're gonna put that on the stage. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. How are we doing? All right, here we go. Again, as I said, Vladimir Putin went out of his way to make this, this public address to call for an Easter ceasefire that would last from Saturday night to Sunday at midnight. Again, anybody that knows anything about warfare or military strategy or anything, you don't just stop troops that are in battle like that, right? It's just not how it works. The message, communication breakdowns means that some units might not get the message in time, might not get the message till much later. Anybody that kind of knows what the hell they're talking about, who knows that it takes at least a few days, right, to set up a ceasefire where all your units can step down, step back, and get back to a safe. A safe hold, a safe place to hold up during the ceasefire. But yes, he did, James. It didn't last, but fucking 30 minutes, my friend. I don't think. So yeah, let's get into this this video explaining what happened and telling you exactly why Putin's an asshole. Here we go. Russia. Let me know if you can hear the video. Like, give me a couple. No audio on the remote camera yet. No, I got you, Wes. I got you. I knew that was a thing. Believe me, I wasn't expecting too much out of that. But audio is good on that. Did anybody hear that to begin with? Give me a couple thumbs up. I don't want to be playing this if you can't hear it.
Russian President Vladimir Putin was in a televised meeting with the military chief when he announced that there would be a temporary Easter ceasefire from 6 p.m. Moscow time on Easter Saturday through to midnight on Easter Sunday Moscow time. So that is 30 hours. He said he was doing this on humanitarian grounds. He said he hoped...
Humanitarian grounds. The hypocrisy and the irony of Vladimir Putin even uttering the phrase is beyond belief, right?
Ukraine would follow Russia's example. Those are his words. At the same time, our troops are prepared to repel possible violations, provocations, and aggression. So he's trying to place himself here as a peacemaker. But of course, 30 days is a far cry from the 30 hours, I should say.
I was going to say 30 days is the ceasefire on energy and infrastructure.
There's a far cry from 30 days, which was proposed by the United States and agreed to by Ukraine last month.
Our decision on the Easter truce will show how sincere the Kiev regime is and its willingness.
You're joking. Stop it. I mean, I want to see, it's probably a Russian newscaster, but the fact that the newscaster is probably trying to fight back the laugh. Like, is this guy fucking, he must be out of his mind to say this shit. He's going nuts.
An ability to abide by the agreements, to participate in the process of peace talks aimed at eliminating the root cause of the Ukrainian crisis.
So, Mazoe, what has the Ukraine's reaction been so far?
We've seen a message on social media from the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and he said,
if Russia is now suddenly ready to truly engage in a format of full and unconditional silence, Ukraine will act accordingly, mirroring Russia's actions. Silence in response to silence, defensive strikes in response to attacks. If a complete ceasefire truly takes hold, Ukraine proposes extending it beyond the Easter day of April 20th. Again, kind of almost a backhanded slap at the fact that, yes, if you're proposing a ceasefire, our whole goal is to get the guns to stop, to get the killing to stop, to get the murder of Ukrainian civilians in military to stop. So yes, how about we extend that past April? How about we extend that past Easter? You know what I mean? Why don't we make it the 20th? Why don't we make it next month? How about 2 months from now? How about 9 months from now? Why don't we do that? You know what I mean? So you can understand where Zelensky's coming from. Stop at the circle.
That Ukraine will mirror Russia's actions, silence with silence, and defensive strikes in response to attacks. He's also suggested that if Russia was truly serious about peace, that it would extend this.
This is what will reveal Russia's true intentions, because 30 hours is enough to make headlines, but not for genuine confidence-building measures. 30 days could give peace a chance, says Zelensky on Twitter.
Ceasefire beyond the Easter weekend. He's also indicated a real skepticism, as have people across Ukraine today, about this ceasefire, simply because they don't trust Russia. They believe that Moscow manipulates them, and they've said that some evidence of this is that in the hour before the ceasefire, drones were continuing to fly over Ukraine from Russia, that air raid sirens were sounding, that there was artillery fire into the front line there, and that Volodymyr Zelensky says that even once that ceasefire began at 6 p.m. Moscow time, there continued to be attacks across the front line, and those air raids.
So, like I'm saying, it's the truce or ceasefire or whatever the hell you want to call it. Didn't last a goddamn second. If you really want to, thank you, Sally, for the gifted membership. I appreciate you. If you really want to look at it, right? Didn't last a goddamn second. They were firing drones, artillery, rockets beforehand. They were firing drones, artillery, rockets afterhand. Clashes on the front lines. Because you can't get fighting of this magnitude on a scale like this to stop, like just because the president says so in 2 seconds, right? That's just not how it works. Putin knows that. It's just, again, this is all one big mind game. Honestly, I think he's making Donald Trump look like an idiot. I think he's making Donald Trump look absolutely stupid. If he didn't, above and beyond the amount of stupidity that Donald Trump shows himself. Like, we know how much he appreciates and obsesses over the relationship with Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, name your dictator around the world, and how much he likes and takes what they have to say into heart. So he thought that he could control Vladimir Putin by this whole, I'll end it in 24 hours. This whole thing will be done by the time I'm elected. Once I'm in office, I'll get him in a room. You get him in a room. Zelensky here, fucking Putin there. So we'll have a talk. We'll have a drink. Hey, it'll be all over. But now, not only is Putin making him look like a fool by extending this way past, obviously, the 24-hour mark since Donald Trump has been elected and even inaugurated, but now is even, going as far as to come out and say there's an Easter truce, a ceasefire, right? Knowing full well that can't even fucking happen, really. Knowing full well there were going to be continuous clashes, continuous artillery strikes, continuous droning. And this makes Donald Trump look like an idiot. A lot of people may forget that he said he could end this in 24 hours. I don't. This chat doesn't. I remember him telling us this was going to end in 24 hours. Not when he was inaugurated, when he was elected. Well, way the hell past that. So now Putin is just literally pulling down his pants and spitting in his eye, right? Yeah. You think you can control me? Yeah, here's a truce. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Sirens continued as well, he says. So there still is a lot of distrust there, not only from the highest levels of government, but also from people on the ground across Ukraine. They are all prepared for this temporary ceasefire promised by Vladimir Putin to not materialise.
I do not believe his statements because Russia is a terrorist country and they constantly lie to the international community. They hoax and drag time to become stronger and start military actions again with new strength. That's what I think.
Tonight in Ukraine, and especially in Kiev, we expect missiles. There will be no ceasefire. This is what I think.
I don't know. It's hard to believe. They never keep their word. That's why I don't believe it.
Now, Zoe, we know that the United States has been inserting itself into these ceasefire negotiations so far.
And just, you might be asking, why are we watching this specific clip? I like watching foreign news agencies and foreign news networks abroad talk about the United States because you get a different perspective on how the world feels about the decisions that, the regime that's in power now is making and the effects that that's going to have on them. And the effects that it could have on, trade allies, military allies, you name it. So, you get a lot. Obviously, I started this because, you have to work so hard nowadays to sift through the bullshit of the mainstream media to find, even a few segments that are helpful instead of just, giving two Democrats or two lefties and two Republicans, 2 minutes each to say what they have to say and go at each other. Right. So instead of doing that, I started this so that we could, take these clips and actually run through them and call out, each and every statement instead of just watching the clip, having it go by, another clip comes on, by the time you're on the fucking, the 30 minutes into the show, you forgot what's going on in the 5th minute, right? Because it's so back and forth. It's crazy. So, it's always good to get the different perspective. That's why I like James O'Brien at LBC. The perspective that he has on things, not only on UK politics, but also American politics. There's a lot of good news stations out there that you could find, again, abroad that still give you straightforward news as opposed to Fox News, CNN, MSNBC bullshit. You know what I mean? Come on with the circle of death.
We know that on Friday it said it would walk away from trying to broker a ceasefire deal. Do you think what we're seeing now, this 30-hour alleged ceasefire, despite what...
She's referring to Marco Rubio's statements he gave the other day, saying what she just paraphrased there.
What we're hearing from President Zelensky is in short truce. Is this short truce in response to that?
It certainly looks like it, doesn't it, Kath? Because it was Thursday when the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio was in Paris meeting with European leaders, bringing them up to speed on ceasefire talks. Friday morning, though, as he was departing Paris, he said that the US couldn't continue with this endeavour for weeks and months on end, that it needed to know that it needed to determine very quickly in a matter of days, Mr. Rubio said, if this was doable. If it was, then he says we're in. If not, we have other priorities. And then that sentiment was echoed hours later by Donald Trump back in Washington. He said that he needed to know that whether the US was able to stay in this, they would have to take a pass if both sides didn't indicate seriousness. So Vladimir Putin's announcement, a surprise announcement of this ceasefire, certainly looks like it is in response to that, because he's hoping to build relations with the United States, and hearing from not only Marco Rubio, but Donald Trump, that they might walk away from this, has potentially prompted him to announce this.
And finally, before I let you go, Ms. Zoe,
yeah, but that doesn't take into account the fact that it wasn't real, the fact that it was broken, so to speak, right off the bat, right? So the fact that he announced it is already overshadowed and overpowered by the fact that they actually didn't stop. So you don't give them credit just for announcing it, right? You give, you report on the fact that they actually did something or they didn't do something. And in this case, they didn't do something. But I mean, you can see how it's gone already. In what day are we in of this presidency? Less than 100 days in, we've gone from I can end this in 24 hours to we're going to walk away. I mean, if that doesn't pretty much sum up the expectations as opposed to what you're actually getting from the Trump regime, I don't know really what does. Right? I can end this in 24 hours. Cut to the, it's a meme. How it started, how it's going. How it started, I can end this in 24 hours. How it's going, Marco Rubio. We might walk away from this shit. Right? 89 days. Is that what it is? Thank you, Grumpy Cat. Thank you. It feels like it's been 100 fucking years since this motherfucker took office. Well, too, I'm right with you. I am right with you on that one. I really am. I am right with you on that one. All right. I think there's just a couple more minutes of this. Let's get through this one.
Reports of a potential minerals deal between Ukraine and the US. What details do you have on this alleged deal?
We're expecting it will be signed on Thursday, Kath, but we have seen this movie before, of course. You would remember when Volodymyr Zelensky went to the White House and there was that extraordinary shouting match. There was meant to be that minerals deal signed on that day, but then J.D. Vance and President Trump promptly rebuked Volodymyr Zelensky and asked him to leave the White House, saying that he wasn't appreciative of the United States' effort to help Ukraine. It appears, though, that minerals deal is back on the table. That the two sides, the United States and Ukraine, have agreed to a framework that would essentially have the United States investing in Ukraine's recovery in exchange for Ukraine offering a share of profits from the minerals inside Ukraine to the United States. We don't know yet about whether there are any security guarantees attached to that, which is what Ukraine really wants. So we're waiting to find out more details, and we are expecting to hear those on Thursday.
Oh, friggin', I mean, the fact that we're even trying to get any money out of this is pretty gross. You know what I mean? The fact that we have to sign a deal with this country for them to, in some way give up their minerals or give up what they should be using to make profit to be able to rebuild the country. Without exchanges of any security guarantees whatsoever, at least. I mean, it really is disgusting. And you can kind of tell by the way it's being reported, there's the fact that they're trying to get this mineral deal done so quickly. Well, not so quickly, but so intently, really. It's on, without actually focusing on the security guarantees for Ukraine, which is what is the important part of this, is what the Ukraine needs, which is what they want, right? So basically Ukraine's hoping, okay, if we got to do, if we do this deal, maybe that gets us in the door for obvious security guarantees later on. But we don't know with this administration what's going to happen from 1 hour to the next, never mind 1 day from another, right? You have no friggin' idea what's going on. And I know, what was it? Scott Bessent signed, it was like the precursor to the deal. It was almost like their concepts of a deal, right? Or their concepts of a plan is what they signed. Or like the promise to have concepts of a plan. I don't know. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's kind of sickening to me, again, that we in any way, shape, or form would have to profit from what we as a country agreed to do with the Budapest Memorandum when Ukraine agreed to give up their nuclear arsenal in exchange for, again, security guarantees from the United States. So it's just, it blows my mind that we're in this position, not only of living under full fascism and authoritarianism under Donald Trump, in our own country, but also turning our backs on our allies, or at least treating them like shit and extorting them, making this a money grab situation instead of a defending democracy, upholding our values, upholding our again promises for security guarantees for Ukraine. Should be much more about that than it is about how much minerals, how many resources we can suck out of the ground. In exchange for what is hopefully going to be some security guarantees in the future. So. All right. Next up on the agenda, let me see if I can do this without crashing the system again. Let's go into, you want to go into the SCOTUS? Actually, this is Donald Trump already asking the Supreme Court since their ruling to over basically as an appeal. But I'm no lawyer, so that's why I pull up these clips so they can explain them and we can go through it together. Let me do this. And away we go on this one. Again, this is the Trump administration asked Supreme Court to roll back order halting deportations. And I know there's been some confusion. Thank you, JD. Thank you. Appreciate you. Happy Easter. Hope you're having a great day. And anybody that receives a gifted membership from JD, please make sure to thank JD. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm sure so would they. Let's see here. So I know there's been some confusion and some conflicting reporting on what actually what the SCOTUS ruling actually entails and what it covers, because I've heard and seen reporting that it has specifically to do with this district in Texas and them deporting people. But I've also seen reported that it's more of a widespread ruling as far as basically all the deportations. So there's been some kind of conflicting reporting on that. I'll see if after that we can pull up something that, kind of clarifies that, and stick around and make sure you hit the like button, because we'll be getting into Senator Chris Van Hollen's interview this morning on, I believe it was ABC. I'm not 100% sure. I just happened to see it. I just happened to see it before I got on here. So I'll pull that up after this. Let's check this out. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We move now to Washington and the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration and the new challenge to the Supreme Court following a temporary pause on some deportations. ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang joins us with the latest. Selena, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. This is a showdown between the White House and the Supreme Court, with the justices making their decision at rapid speed after the ACLU argued that the administration...
Yeah, I mean, guys, you really have to kind of put that into perspective. If you haven't seen the reporting, this was kind of like a midnight ruling by SCOTUS, where they pretty much moments after... Oh, Yvonne, look at you. Get out of town with you. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Unbelievable. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Hope you guys are well over there. And I really do appreciate you being here. I really do. All you guys, especially on Easter, to be here, because I know you guys got family things to do. I know you got church. I know you got a ton of things to do. So there's a ton of places you could be. And right now you're right here with me. So that makes me feel really, really good and warm inside. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yvonne. So yeah, this was a midnight ruling, something that I don't know, has it happened? I haven't heard of it happening from the Supreme Court, especially this Supreme Court, where after the ACLU filed their lawsuit, they were you could tell they were scrambling behind the scenes to be like, okay, what the fuck, what are they going to do? It ended up being a 7-2 ruling, with the two being Clarence Thomas and what was it, Alito? Forgive me if I'm wrong on that one. Correct me in the chat. But it was kind of like, they didn't give a shit. They actually didn't even let the lower court respond because they put the ruling out so fast, which I think typically is how it's done. They would make their ruling, and I don't know if they sent it down to the lower courts, which is, the judgment they were ruling on, and kind of say, here's what's going to happen, or, is this possible? I don't know how it actually works, but I think they're supposed to contact the lower court before they actually put out the ruling. But this time they actually just put out the ruling because it was like, no, I don't get it. This is going out. It's going out. Roberts was like, screw it. Nope. We can talk about it later. We can talk about it later. So I just wanted, the importance of this, get through the importance of this and how urgent it was, not only to the Supreme Court, but also to this country, because you can tell how quickly they acted and how out of character this is for them to act like this, how big a deal it is, right? You can relate the two. So there we go. There we go.
Was trying to rush migrants onto plane and send them to a notorious prison in El Salvador without sufficient due process. This morning, the Trump administration now asking the Supreme Court to roll back its decision to blow due process. That extraordinary order coming from the highest court shortly after midnight Saturday, just hours after the ACLU raced to file an emergency appeal. The ACLU's lead attorney telling me that migrants received this notice and were told they'd be removed in 12 to 12.
I don't know. I am a law enforcement officer authorized to apprehend, restrain, and remove alien enemies. You have been determined to be at least 14 years of age, not a citizen or lawful permanent resident of the United States, a citizen of Venezuela and a member of Tren de Aragua. Accordingly, under the Alien Enemies Act, you have been determined to be an alien enemy subject to apprehension, restraint, and removal from the United States. Until you are removed from the United States, you will be detained under Title 50, United States Code Section 21. Any statement you make now or while you are in custody may be used against you in any administrative or criminal proceeding. This is not a removal under the Immigration and Nationality Act. If you desire to make a phone call, you will be permitted to do so. After being removed from the United States, you must request and obtain permission from the Secretary of Homeland Security to enter or attempt to enter the United States at any time. So let me ask you a question. Why then couldn't Kilmar Abrego Garcia contact the Secretary of Homeland Security to re-enter the United States? Right? Is that not a reasonable question? Doesn't that right there give you the actual? Doesn't that give you the route and the path of how he would go about getting back into this country, if not just sending a plane down there to get him back? You know what I mean? That right there says, after being removed from the United States. Yeah, can I make it bigger on the screen? I don't know if I can, but I shall try, because I doubt you guys can see that. Let me see. Does it make it any bigger for me? Of course not. All right. Anyway, I tried. I can read it. So, after being removed from the United States, you must request and obtain permission from the Secretary of Homeland Security to enter or attempt to enter the United States at any time. So, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, having been removed from the United States, having had the Supreme Court rule 9-0 that the United States is required to facilitate his return, having to have be found to be wrongfully deported to El Salvador, to an El Salvadorian fucking death camp, for Christ's sakes. Why can't he? Why are we waiting? Why can't he just contact the Secretary of Homeland Security to enter or attempt to enter the United States at any time? What am I missing here? Because this is a notice of warrant of apprehension and removal under the Alien Enemies Act, which is the exact same act that they used to remove Kilmar Abrego Garcia and many others just like him, right? The LGBTQIA hairdresser there. What's this? People being apprehended all over the place that are actual citizens, right? Just going through that, even though they might not be put into a jail cell or deported or anything, but just the thought, just having to go through the process of being handcuffed and having your documents pulled out Maybe you don't have them on you. Maybe it's scary because you're like, shit, I don't have my fucking ID on me right now, right? My wife's got it, or it's in my fucking other car, or it's at the house, or whatever the fuck. You don't know. You have no idea. Next thing you could know, you could be in El Salvador, for Christ's sakes. With no due process, you have no ability to say, yes, I'm a citizen. Hey, ho, ho. Nope, my ID was just in my house, motherfucker. What the hell? I'm in El Salvador. No. Hey, ho, whoa. Slow it. What the fuck here? Pump your brakes. I'm going to work. What's going on? I have a fucking union job. I have a fucking American wife with a kid. I've been living in Maryland, fucking on the steady path for years now. I've gone to every fucking interview. I've gone to every immigration meeting and request. I've done everything you guys have asked of me. When you get no due process, you have no ability to say that. None of that. Gone. On the plane. Bye. See you later. And then it's up to the fucking Trump regime, right? This fucking, the cartel, the Trump fucking cartel, for Christ's sakes. It's on them to be able to be like, well, fuck, hey, hopefully we'll get him back one day. He is a citizen, but yeah, fuck him, right? Right? Maybe they'll just say this to you.
Go fuck yourself.
That's what you'll get from the fucking Trump fucking cartel, right? The fucking Trump Nazi cartel over here. Sending people. This is fascism. This is authoritarianism. I don't know how else to get that fucking across to you guys. This is it. We're not like leading up to it anymore. We're not fucking on the verge of anymore. We're not fucking the line in the sand and we're almost there anymore. Motherfucker, we dove over that line in the sand. We sprinted and fucking took a trampoline out, jumped on the fucking trampoline, and fucking sprung right over that line about 30 fucking feet. We're in it. We are in it now. So why Kilmar Abrego Garcia cannot just contact the Secretary of Homeland Security like it says in this goddamn fucking warrant right here? Why is he not afforded at least that opportunity? I'm assuming he got one of these papers, or I'm assuming he's got something like it, right? Makes no sense to me. Sorry. As Hal says, other than that, I have no opinion.
24 hours. The notice says, under the Alien Enemies Act, you have been determined to be an alien enemy subject to apprehension, restraint, and removal from the United States.
We're talking about the administration hurrying people to the plane to send them to this Salvadoran prison without any due process whatsoever.
Among the migrants at that Texas detention center, Jose Gregorio Caldera Perez, seen in this video shared with ABC News, speaking to his girlfriend from the facility on Thursday before the court's ruling. He says there are a lot of us, and every minute more and more Venezuelans keep coming. The majority are Venezuelans. Another man in a jumpsuit seen holding up a piece of paper he says they allegedly have to sign and that they do not know where they might be going. ABC News has reached out to DHS for comment.
I mean, the fact that you don't know where you're going. I mean, no, I know, like, even when you get arrested, right? You're in the back of the cruiser. You can, okay, hey, where are we going? The guy's going to tell you at least where you're fucking going. What you know what I mean? You know, we work at this county. We're this county sheriff. Or no, you're going to this county jail or this county, right? At least you at least get that. But to be just like, yeah, sign this fucking paper. No, we don't know. No, you're not being told where you're going. Like, how scary would that be? Think of how fucking scary that would be. Right? Unbelievable. I mean, but it is believable. That's the problem. It's unbelievable and believable at the same time. It's believable because this is Trump cartel's second fucking run at it, baby. We saw what happened the first time, so why you thought anything was going to be different, I don't know. But we're here. And if we don't get loud, if we don't get in the streets, if we don't peacefully protest like we have the goddamn right to do, then none of this shit's going to change. None of it. Not a goddamn thing. We keep going to work. We keep doing this and that, going about our daily lives, and being like, oh, we're so fucking. Hi, thank you, Colleen. We are all carrying briefcases, backpacks, and all documentation of our citizenship wherever we go if we stop fighting. Well, we'll all be, excuse me. Yes, and you're 100% right. You're 100% right. And what I'm getting into, you know? I mean, there's a fine line between, okay, yeah, we're okay with this, because they're brown or because they speak Spanish or whatever, and send in fucking whoever they want because they can pick a reason, right? I'm sitting here showing my face on camera. My name's on the goddamn friggin' ticket, right? I'm sitting here talking about, speaking out against these deportations. I'm speaking out against the fucking Trump cartel, right? I know I'm not big. I know I don't have a fucking 100,000, 2 million, anything subscribers, but who knows, right? What videos are getting to this guy? Who knows who's looking around the internet and what they're going to see and who they're going to try to go after? Who knows at this point? So it's a fine fucking line, right? Because who remembers or who knows about this? Let's see here. Let's try to do this without, again, crashing the system. Ta-da. Yeah, I'll play this so you guys can.
The paper says Venezuela, but others say it's to El Salvador, so please help us. Caldera Perez's girlfriend telling us he said the paper is only in English and hard to understand, adding that he claims he
only in English. Only in English. I mean, come on. I mean, at the fucking least, if you know you're going after Spanish-speaking individuals, what you could do is write the fucking warrant or whatever that piece of paper is in Spanish as well. Right? Or is it the purpose to keep them confused? Is it the purpose to have them not know where they're going? Is it the purpose to scare the shit out of them? So when other Venezuelans or other immigrants see this, they're like, fuck, fuck are we going to do now? That's what they want. They want you to be scared. And they want the American people to be okay with this, which is why they're going after, the people that they're trying to say that these people are, right? They're trying to portray them as murderers and rapists and gangsters and this and that. Meanwhile, the 60 Minutes investigation found that at the low number, 75% of them don't have any criminal record whatsoever. None, zero, zip, right? And in the high number, 90% of them don't have a criminal record. They want you to be okay with this so that they can push it a step further, right? The boiling frog. Keep going a step further and a step further. Next thing you know, they'll be coming for your ass. And there'll be nobody left to fucking speak out, right? Martin Niemöller. First they came for me, right? They want you to be okay with it. And guess what? Oh, everybody's like, oh, fucking Hitler. You compared him to Hitler. It's so hyperbolic. Fuck you. How about that? How about that? Because there are a million one-to-one connections you could look at, not least of which are the fact that Donald Trump on the campaign would go out there and repeat lines and phrases in rhetoric from Nazi propaganda and from Mein Kampf, right? But this is what they want you. This is similar to what they want you to do, right? This was also an attempt at something like this, but only the Nazis, right? So this was the T4 euthanasia program that the Nazis attempted. This was basically their first run at mass murder, their first attempt at it. And guess who it was? It wasn't people from Russia. It wasn't people from fucking the U.S. It wasn't people from Poland. It wasn't people from name a country, France or Belgium or no. It was their own citizens. It was their own German citizens, people that were what they would call mentally retarded or had fucking physical deformities, right? People that were gay. People that didn't fit society. This was their first attempt at it, right? T4 euthanasia program was a Nazi effort to kill the mentally ill, physical or mentally disabled, emotionally distraught, or elderly. Adolf Hitler initiated the program in 1939, while it was officially discontinued in 1941. Killings continued covertly until the German military defeat in 1945. The plan for so-called useless eaters. Where have we heard that before? Where have we heard that before? Sounds like something Stephen Miller would say, right? Sounds like something most of these Republicans would say, that we have useless eaters in this country. We have people sucking off the system, sucking off the tit of the system, right? Not going to work, playing video games. How many times have you heard that shit? How many times have you heard that shit, right? To be killed from the Nazi theories of eugenics, racial hygiene, and social Darwinism. By the end of the war, an estimated 230,000 people with physical or mental disabilities were murdered in T4 and its successive program, sometimes called wild euthanasia. This was actually, they had to go underground or covert, as this says, because the German people were so outraged, right? The German people caught wind of it, and they were so outraged that this actually taught Hitler not to put his name, not to attach his name to anything like this in the future. That's why Goering, or fucking pick a person under Hitler that would sign the actual decrees or sign the actual policies. The anti Jewish policies, the Holocaust papers and the instructions that would go out. They were all by people of lower command or by Goering himself. Hitler would never attach his name to it. That way he had, he could deny it, if it ever came down to it. But this was the first attempt where they just tried, okay, we'll just, people, what the Nazis thought was, people don't like these people anyway, right? People don't want, fucking mentally ill or physically or mentally disabled or emotionally distraught, or fuck the elderly, right? They're just too much to feed. They've outlasted their usefulness, right? But what they wanted was the German people to be okay with it, or what they were hoping for is that the German people would accept it. But it was so not accepted. It was outraged. So many people were outraged by it, that they had to do it covertly, right? They had to obviously take Hitler's name and disassociate it with Hitler, and continue the program in other ways where the German public wouldn't be aware of it. So, if there's even more one-to-ones that you could make, add that to the fucking list. All right, here we go.
Taken to an airport near the facility on Friday and told they were about to be deported. Then he told her once they arrived, an officer informed the group they were being sent back to the center and would not board the plane. Overnight, Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas releasing their dissent, calling the midnight order unprecedented and legally questionable relief. The Trump administration also arguing that the Supreme Court's block was premature and asking the justices to clarify that its order only stops them from deporting migrants under the Alien Enemies Act and not under other authorities. That's the same act invoked back in March to deport hundreds of Venezuelan migrants to the prison in El Salvador.
I mean, just those fucking scenes alone, right? Come on.
Back in March to deport hundreds of Venezuelan migrants to the...
come on. Why is it going crazy? That's not what I wanted. I wanted just a little back. Just a little back. Where is it? Right here. Come on. That's not what I wanted either.
To deport hundreds.
There we go. Just this scene alone. What is this? Is this reminiscence? Could this possibly be in a different era? Right? Just put different uniforms on these guys. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, and I understand this is El Salvador, but this is who we're teaming up with. This is who we're paying $6 million or more to house people from the United States in prison. Excuse me, not house. That's ridiculous for me to say. In prison. Right, in an overcrowded, inhumane, possible fucking death camp, right? This is from a different era, right here. This is not meant to be people the United States do business with. Let's say. Christ's sakes, just play the fucking
Venezuelan
video.
Migrants to the prison in El Salvador. Among them, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a father living in Maryland who was mistakenly sent back to his home country despite a court order barring the move.
He was traumatized by being at SCOTUS. and fearful of many of the prisoners in other cell blocks.
The White House says they're confident they'll ultimately prevail against what they're calling meritless litigation. And it's also another busy week ahead for the Trump.
It doesn't matter if they say they're going to prevail, because Stephen Miller just comes out in front of cameras and lies through his goddamn teeth. He's got so many lies built up in that fucking gigantic forehead of his. He just has to let them out every time he sees a microphone. It's uncanny, the way that man lies. And people think because, he's passionate and he speaks for fucking, he doesn't know shit about shit. All he knows is he's a fucking racist, bigoted prick. That's all he knows. And he knows he wants to get brown people and anybody that's not white, Christian, and believes in Donald Trump out of this fucking country as fast as possible by any means possible, legal or illegal.
Administration in the courts, with multiple hearings scheduled focused on the administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act. So in all of these legal cases, Janae, this legal battle is only beginning.
Certainly is. Selena Wang, thank you so much.
You know, it really is disturbing, and everybody should be equally. Oh, thank you, Joy. Deportation of immigrants without a hearing is an outright violation of the United States Constitution. It sure the hell is. It sure the hell is, Joy, and thank you so much. Happy Easter. I appreciate you. I appreciate your contributions. Very nice. I really do appreciate it, so thank you. Stephen Miller's always in Donnie's ear. Absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. Absolutely. And there's a clip that I'd like to play. I want to play so much stuff, and it's so hard to squeeze it in here. That was the first. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to do this, share this instead, because that might help. And then I'm going to X this out, because that's going to slow down things. Oh, come on. All right, I'm back already. All right, that was quick. For some reason, when I X out a tab, it black, like the computer goes black. That's strange. All right, so next up on the agenda, we'll go right from that clip that we saw there about Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Senator Van Hollen's interview this morning that he did with CBS News. So let's hear from Senator Van Hollen and see what he had to say about his trip and about his meeting with Kilmar. So let me add this to the stage, I think. How the hell is that working? Remove. All right, let me do this. Let me do it. Let me do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned. All right, here we go. To the stage, and we're back. All right, here we go, guys. Let's get into it. This is Senator Chris Van Hollen speaks in the United States after visiting Kilmar Abrego Garcia in El Salvador. Make sure you hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are not yet. It is free to do so. Hit the bell to let you know when I go live. It would really help the channel if you would do any of those things. And there's a Venmo up there if you want to go the extra mile. You're more than welcome to, and I would greatly appreciate your assistance to the channel. But let's see what Senator Van Hollen had to say this morning. Let's go.
All right, now we want to go to some live pictures now and some sound from Chris Van Hollen, who just got back from El Salvador. Let's listen into what he had to say about his visit with Abrego Garcia.
Abrego Garcia, and bring him home too.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. My apologies. Was this actually, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this was his press conference. The video that I have where he actually sat down this morning is coming up after. My apologies. This is the press conference that he gave, and then we'll do the Sunday conversation that he had this morning afterwards. My apologies.
We're joined by his wife, Jennifer, by his mother, Cecilia, by his brother, Cesar, and thank all of the rest of you who are joining us in solidarity with the Constitution and Kilmar. Look, I'm a little sleep deprived, and I want to be as clear as possible about what this is about and what it's not about. So I'm going to read the remarks that I wrote on the plane ride home. As the federal courts have said, we need to bring Mr. Abrego Garcia home to protect his constitutional rights to due process. And it's also important that people understand this case is not just about one man. It's about protecting the constitutional rights of everybody who resides in the United States of America. If you deny the constitutional rights of one man, you threaten the constitutional rights and due process for everyone else in America.
Yes.
The Fourth Circuit put it very clearly in its strong opinion yesterday, and I quote, "It is difficult in some cases to get to the very heart of the matter, but in this case, it is not hard at all. The government, in this case, the Trump administration, is asserting a right to stash away residents of this country in foreign prisons without the semblance of due process that is the foundation of our constitutional order. Further, it claims, in essence, that because it has rid itself of custody, that there is nothing that can be done. This should be shocking not only to judges, but to the intuitive sense of liberty that Americans far removed from the courthouses still hold dear." They summed up the issue at stake perfectly. And that's why the Supreme Court, in a 9-0 decision, ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Mr. Abrego Garcia.
That's right.
Now, the Trump administration wants to flat out lie about what this case is about. They want to change the subject. They want to make it about something else. And they are flouting the orders from the federal district court, the Fourth Circuit Court, and the Supreme Court to facilitate his return. That's why I traveled to El Salvador, leaving here on Wednesday. And I want to express my gratitude to members of my family and members of my staff who agree that we all must be prepared to take risks because of the current risk to our Constitution itself. In addition to having a variety of discussions on bilateral issues between the United States and El Salvador, I had two main goals. One was to urge the government of El Salvador not to be complicit in the illegal abduction and detention of Mr. Abrego Garcia and to release him. I made that request directly to the vice president of El Salvador. The president was out of country at the time, and I've previously reported on that conversation. My principal mission was to meet with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I told his wife, Jennifer, and his family that I would do everything in my power to make that happen. And last night at about 6:40 p.m. El Salvador time, 8:45 p.m. here on the East Coast, I called Jennifer to tell her that I had met with Kilmar. And I told her what he said to me, which was first and foremost that he missed her and his family. And as he said that, you could see a tear go down his cheek. Now, getting a meeting with Kilmar was not easy. On Wednesday, I met with the vice president of El Salvador and asked if I could meet with him. The answer was no. I asked if I returned the following week whether I could meet with him. The answer was no. I asked if I could call him on the phone. The answer was no. I asked if his wife Jennifer could call him on the phone. The answer was no. No to his wife, no to his mother, no to his lawyers. So the following day, which was yesterday, I decided to give it another try by driving to SCOTUS. SCOTUS is the notorious prison where Kilmar was taken when he was abducted. I was accompanied by a lawyer for Kilmar's wife, Jennifer, and mother, Cecilia, Chris Newsom. About 3 kilometers outside of SCOTUS, we were pulled over by soldiers. You could see the rest of the traffic was allowed to go by. We were pulled over by soldiers and told that we were not allowed to proceed any farther. When I asked why, I was told that they had orders not to allow us to go any further. When I asked them if they knew anything about the condition of Mr. Abrego Garcia, they said no. And so much later in the afternoon, I was actually getting ready to catch a plane out of San Salvador back here later yesterday evening. And all of a sudden, I got word that I would be allowed to meet with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And they brought him to the hotel where I was staying. And after that meeting, as I said, I called his wife, Jennifer, to report on some of the news of that meeting. And now I'm going to report to all of you about our discussion. When I told him that his wife and family sent their love and were fighting for Kilmar to return home every day, he said that he was worried about all of you. That was his response. How are you dealing with this horrible ordeal and nightmare for the family? He said that thinking of you, members of his family, is what gave him the strength to persevere, to keep going day to day, even under these awful circumstances. He spoke several times about your 5-year-old son who has autism. 5-year-old son who was in the car in Maryland when Kilmar was pulled over by U.S. government agents and handcuffed. His 5-year-old son was in the car at that time. He told me that he was taken to Baltimore first. I assume that was the Baltimore Detention Center. He asked to make a phone call from there to let people know what had happened to him. But he was denied that opportunity. He said he was later taken with some others from Baltimore to a detention center in Texas. And some point thereafter, I don't know whether it was a period of hours or days, he was handcuffed, shackled, and put on a plane along with some others where they couldn't see out of the windows. There was no way to see where they were going in the plane. They didn't know for sure where they were going. They landed in El Salvador, and he was taken to SCOTUS prison. He was placed in a cell with, if I recall correctly, and don't hold me to it, of about 25 other prisoners at SCOTUS. He said he was not afraid of the other prisoners in his immediate cell, but that he was traumatized by being at SCOTUS and fearful of many of the prisoners in other cell blocks who called out to him and taunted him in various ways. He told me, and this was yesterday, that 8 days ago, so I guess 9 days ago from today, he was moved to another detention center in Santa Ana, where the conditions are better. But he said despite the better conditions, he still has no access to any news from the outside world and no ability to communicate with anybody in the outside world.
You'd have to assume that the pressure that's being put upon the El Salvadorian president, Bukaki, Donald Trump, and this, cartel is the only reason that he was moved from one spot to another, where it seems he's in better conditions at the very, 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 very least. So at least the pressure that we're putting on them, the pressure that you guys are putting on them, the pressure that the media and the people of this country continue to put on them, and great senators like Senator Van Hollen here, how they represent and defend their constituents is exactly how you're supposed to do it. Go the extra mile. Like I said, at the very least, the pressure is working that we're putting on. So continue to speak out, continue to get out there and with your signs and with your friends and family and protest, and make sure you're talking about it at wherever you possibly can.
His conversation with me was the first communication he'd had with anybody outside of prison since he was abducted. He said he felt very sad about being in a prison because he had not committed any crimes. When I asked him what was the one thing he would ask for in addition to his freedom, he said he wanted to talk to his wife, Jennifer. I told him I would work very hard to make that happen. I told him that in addition to his family, that all of you who are here today were fighting to bring him home. I told him that his brothers and sisters in his union, the sheet metal workers union, were fighting to bring him home.
I mean, the guy's got a goddamn union job, for Christ's sakes. I mean, anybody knows it's not easy to get into any union, right? Not only that, it's really easy to get fired or laid off from a union. I mean, what are we talking about here, people? Good Lord.
That brought a smile to his face. I told him that millions of Americans understand that what is happening to him is a threat to their own constitutional rights. I told him about the decisions of the federal courts, the district court, the Fourth Circuit Court, the Supreme Court. And I think that in addition to knowing that his family was fighting for him, all of that gave him strength. The fact that all of you here were fighting for him. I want to say something about the Trump administration's efforts to change the conversation about what this case is about. This case is about upholding constitutional rights for Abrego Garcia and for every American. The President Trump and the Trump administration wants to say that those who are fighting to stand up for our Constitution don't want to fight gang violence. That is an outright lie. That is a big, big lie. I, for one, have been fighting against transnational gang violence, especially MS-13, for over 20 years, probably for longer than Donald Trump ever uttered those words, MS-13. Over 20 years ago, I worked to establish an anti-gang task force, a regional anti-gang task force in the Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Virginia area. I did it in a bipartisan way with then Congressman Frank Wolf and Tom Davis. And we have made substantial progress in this region. We have a long way still to go, but those efforts have resulted in progress. So I say to the President of the Trump administration, if you want to make claims about Mr. Abrego Garcia and
what's the proof that he beat his wife? What's the proof there? Throw the link in the chat, please, and thank you.
MS-13, you should present them in the court, not over social media. That's right. Not at press conferences where you just rattle stuff off. Because here is what the federal district court judge said about exactly this issue. This is Judge Zinnes. So she is the federal district court judge in the District of Maryland, where the case first appeared. This is a quote from her opinion. Defendants, and in this case, this is the Trump administration she's referring to, have offered no evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any terrorist activity. And vague allegations of gang association alone do not supersede the express protections of.
Not only that, but above and beyond that, it's not about the point of what he did in the past, right? It's what he's being accused of now that he didn't do. He's not a part of the gang. He was ordered not to be deported by a judge. He was deported against that authority. We're talking about no due process, right? So above and beyond that, right? Above and beyond the man himself. This is way more than just the man himself. But I appreciate you being here. I do. I do. Make sure you hit whatever, the thumbs down, the dislike, keep chatting. I appreciate it. You guys make them feel welcomed. Just kind of give them the facts. Like I said, give them the facts of what we're actually trying to get through here. This is more than just the guy, right? And if you don't understand that, I don't know how to help you.
Offered under the INA, unquote. She emphasized this point, and I'm quoting, no evidence before the court connects Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any other criminal organization, unquote. In other words, put up in court or shut up.
Right. These comments coming from Senator Van Hollen.
All right, they cut away there, but let's go to his Sunday morning, what he said today. Is this going to play from here? I don't know. Can't I just go to the thing? Why do they got to take me to this every time? Yes, I would rather go to the channel instead of watching it on this. Please and thank you. Go to publish the site. Thank you. Thank you very much. Senator, now, oh, geez, turn me to Sean Hannity. Say there, Senator, do you see any issues with the deportations that Donald Trump's been enacting? Is serious stuff. He's going El Salvador. All right, let's. This has got to be it, right? This has got to be it, right? All right, let's just pop in and see what he had to say here. See if we got any more information on Kilmar Abrego Garcia or his return to the Estados Unidos. I'm going to put this on the screen. I know you're seeing the other one. Don't worry about it. I got you. You pull that up. How you doing, guys? I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. Make sure you hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 15,000. That would be fantastic. The channel is growing rapidly. I would hope that you would try to get involved and join the chat because they're fun. It's safe. Mods are fantastic. The Bryantologists are fantastic. The Lobsters are fantastic. The Lobsters are actually so fantastic, right? That Jordan Peterson himself was talking about you guys. Jordan Peterson brought up the Lobsters. I shit you not. Ready? Check it out. I even got a clip of it right here. Check it out.
I mean, they've been conserved since the time of lobsters, right? There weren't trees around when lobsters first manifested themselves on the planet.
Told you. I mean, the guy, he loves you. Right? He's just giving you so much respect. You guys have been around for so long. You've been around since before trees, right? Before trees. Even Jordan Peterson.
They've been conserved since the time of lobsters, right? There weren't trees around when lobsters first manifested themselves on the planet.
They really weren't. They really weren't. So you guys are fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, let's see if I can share this tab instead without, like I said, crashing the system. I'm going to do this, and hopefully away we go. Make it a little bigger for you guys. And there we go. Please. Just play. You can play. It's cool. I'm giving you permission to play. I'm giving you permission to play, sir. Speak. Do something. Anything. Why? Okay. Try that one again. We'll try that one again. Back at you. Come on. Any day now. There you go. There you go.
There you go. That's how you do it. That's good. There you go. There you go.
President Trump, who met with El Salvador's president this
Why did it stop? What are you doing? Oh, jeez. It's just this ain't me. This is not me. Don't blame me, folks. I'm trying here. I'm hitting play. It's just not doing its thing. Just wants to say ABC News. Play. Maybe if I skip forward. Any day now. Any day. Why? Why is that a thing? Live streaming who? Log in? What is this like? You got a log in type thing?
Bad
to
have this this person who'd been
Keep going. Stop. I mean, don't stop. Just
absconded
here we
from
go.
America, from the streets of Maryland.
Oh, okay. All right.
In one of their prisons and not able to communicate. So
Why? I don't understand. All right, I'm going to get this out of here. Maybe that'll help. I don't even have a lot of things open at all, which is the scary part. All right. One more time. We'll give it one more try, and if not, we'll see if I can find another clip. One more try. Any day. Refresh. One more try. Here we go. Is this it right here? No, that's live. I don't want live. Come on. We were doing so well. All right, last try. It's these damn pop-ups. I'm telling you, it's these damn ads. Fucking, they're ruining the internet. They're literally ruining the goddamn internet. They're making it so you can't even go to a website anymore. It's just, you can't even fucking, it doesn't even function. They're trying to throw so much shit at you left and right. Buy this, buy that. Whoa, buy this Hulu, fucking Netflix. Whoa. It's like, Jesus Christ, I'm here to fucking read an article. I can't even read the fucking article. Stop with the pop-ups. Good Lord.
Your daughter wants a birthday party. Oh, correction, a birthday tea party. And she loves dress up, so a birthday princess tea party.
I have to watch the whole thing?
But her dream, a birthday princess
Give me a skip.
T-Rex party. From tea sets to
Good beat,
T-Rex,
though.
get everything for every party on Amazon.
President Trump, who met with El Salvador's president this week, made it clear he does not intend to seek the return of Abrego Garcia to the United States. Deportation without due process is at the center of the Abrego Garcia case. The administration claims he is an MS-13 gang member, something his family and his attorneys deny. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen flew to El Salvador himself to try to get a meeting with the man whose family, including his wife, an American citizen, is still in Maryland pushing for his return. First, authorities refused, but late Thursday, Senator Van Hollen was able to sit down with Abrego Garcia, who was not in his jail garb and not in the hellish CCOT prison, but instead in plain clothes at a nearby hotel. While President Trump accused Van Hollen of defending a violent gang member, the senator says the issue goes far beyond the case of Abrego Garcia.
if you deny the constitutional rights of one man, you threaten the constitutional rights and due process for everyone else in America.
And Senator Van Hollen joins me now. So you had this extraordinary trip to El Salvador. When you got there, you demanded or you asked to see Abrego Garcia. You were flatly denied, and then suddenly they brought him to see you. Explain what happened.
Well, you're right. I was denied by the vice president. I then the next day tried to drive to CCOT prison, which is this notorious prison.
Yeah.
Soldiers waved me to the side of the road about 3 kilometers out. I said, "What are you doing?" They said they were gotten orders not to allow me to proceed.
Not even to get within miles of the
3 kilometers. I asked them if they knew anything about the health of Abrego Garcia. They said they knew nothing about it. We had a number.
Just the fact. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just the fact that they were like, they had orders. Just the fact that they had orders. Oh, come on. Just come back on. Thank you. Just the fact that they had orders to stop Senator Van Hollen himself from getting anywhere near the prison suggests what? They had to get him ready. They wanted to get him out of the situation that he was in. They didn't want the senator to see the prison. They didn't want, you know what I mean? So there's nothing good. You can't think of anything. There's no good reason why they would want him not to enter the prison or see his constituent or see Kilmar Albrego Garcia where he was at that moment, right? There's just no good reason for it. And God, if this better start again or I'm going to fucking flip out. Why? What happened? Just start. I pressed play. All right. Okay. Skip ahead, maybe? This site sucks. Well, what am I waiting on? A fucking pop up? What's popping up at me now? Come on. There it is. There it is. There we go.
My goal was to meet with him.
Yeah.
And make sure I could tell his wife and family he was okay. That was my goal. And I achieved.
Oh, and have we heard the margarita myth yet? Right? Hashtag margarita myth. Where supposedly in the middle of this conversation here, this is obviously the picture taken on the right hand side is prior to what happened, but I guess they brought over a couple glasses with salted rims and some cherries, right, to try to make it look like they were having a good time, just sitting there having a couple drinks, right? No way, just shooting the shit. All right, everything's fucking fine and dandy, hunky dory. You're all set there. Look at them, fucking. Even the president of El Salvador. Let's see here. Margarita. Even the president of El Salvador is supposedly tweeting or retweeting these. He might have even fucking made them up himself. These lies. Let's see here. Senator Van Hollen pours cold water on Margarita Gate photo op after El Salvador trip. Let's see here. Senator Van Hollen, Trump outright defiant court. Margarita Gate debunked by Senator Van Hollen. Senator says Margarita photo op with Albrego Garcia was staged. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, it's not going to let me because it's the Wall Street Journal, probably, right? Senator says Margarita photo op with Albrego was staged by a Salvadorian leader. Maryland, let's see. Can I share this tab instead with you guys? Is that what you guys are seeing? Nice. Let's go, brother. Let's go. I did something correct. So Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen was getting ready to leave El Salvador without seeing detained U.S. migrant Kilmar Albrego Garcia when he got a surprise phone call. Authorities who had previously denied him a visit were now willing to allow him an in-person visit with Van Hollen. The meeting, which took place Thursday evening, the lobby of Van Hollen's hotel at Senator in San Salvador, appeared to have been set up carefully. Curated photo op by Salvadorian officials, the senator said. Albrego Garcia, who entered the U.S. Illegally as a teenager, was mistakenly sent to what the fuck? I don't understand why like these ridiculous fucking ads on have to be. Why could they just report on what happened, right? As a teenager, was mistakenly sent to Salvadorian prison March 15th by the Trump administration. We know that. Let's see. The photo Van Hollen had posted of himself and Albrego Garcia showed two men sitting at the table with glasses of water. One of the government people came over and deposited two other glasses on the table with ice and salt or sugar. Right? They look like margaritas. Neither of us touched the drinks that were in front of us, the senator said. Friday at a press conference in Washington at Dulles Airport upon his arrival. Let's see here. Let's the report on the fact. Yeah, El Salvadorian President Nayib Bukaki shared his images of two men at the table with tropical drinks on X and mocked the meeting of called Albrego Garcia miraculously risen from the death camps in torture, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador with a cocktail emoji coming from the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukaki, right? So he's tweeting this out on X, and I'll read it again. Miraculously risen from the death camps in torture, all in quotations, obviously mocking people that are saying that these are death camps and the people being tortured. Now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador. And then he put a nice cocktail emoji just to put the point across, right? Right? I mean, that's like, how dirty of a fucking move is that? I mean, that's fucking, I don't even think the Trump regime, the Trump fucking cartel would think of doing something like that. Like, that's just fucking stupid shit. Like, if anybody that's ever had a drink, anybody that's ever worked at a restaurant, anybody that's ever been a bartender or a fucking waitress or a fucking server knows that you don't put fucking cherries in margaritas. Nor is a margarita clear. So you fucked up all around on that one, right? That was the most easily debunked bullshit in the history of fucking, photo ops and bullshit that you try to pass through here just for literally a fucking tweet on X. But I mean, how stupid can you be? These are the people that we're dealing with. Yeah, put a couple glasses of water in there, and then we'll fucking put some shit on the rim, throw a couple cherries in there, and I'll put out a tweet after saying they were drunk. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Dumbasses. Just a fucking lot of them. Let's see here. Abreu was lawyers for Abreu, who lives in Maryland, have argued he was deported without due process and must be brought back. Abreu was moved out of CCOT to a different prison roughly 3 hours away in Santa Ana 9 days before the meeting. He told Senator Van Hollen 9 days before the meeting. 9 days before the meeting. So that makes it. So when did what was the date that the Supreme Court ruled on? Was that before the Supreme Court ruled on it or after the Supreme Court ruled on it? Right? Because you think he was moved because of the Supreme Court ruling? Or did that 9 days? I forget what date the Supreme Court ruling came out. Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat? You guys are always smarter than I am. You have more knowledge than I do, so hit me with it. What was the date of the Supreme Court ruling? Was it more or less than 9 days ago, basically? It's all a blur. Really? No, fucking, you're not wrong, dude. You're not fucking wrong, because it's just like trying to report on this. And like, look, it's 2:34 right now, right? I got less than a half hour left. I've gotten through what, I mean, it's impossible to try to cover it all. And I do, and I'm trying to spend more time on, the clips that I'm watching, because, I even kind of owe Senator Van Hollen an apology. Not an apology, but, put my hand up, because last time I was frustrated at the fact that he wasn't going to get to see Abreu Garcia. I was frustrated at the press conference that he got. I was frustrated. I was angry, and I was wrong. And I was wrong, because he fucking stayed the course. He got the phone call. He met with them. It's really, really important that he did so. So I give him all the credit in the world for doing so. And I put my hand up. I actually emailed the senator. Let's see if I can read the response that I got from him. I emailed it to see if I can, for an interview, see if I could interview him, just fucking shooting a shot, right? And I got a response, and it says, "Thank you for emailing me your message. It is important to address the concerns from my fellow Americans so that I can carry out my responsibilities in the United States Senate. Unfortunately, due to the number of messages I have received, I am unable to provide a response to people outside of Maryland. Sincerely, Chris Van Hollen, United States Senator." Obviously, it's probably not him sending it. It's probably an auto response, but still, at least I got a response. I mean, we're moving up in the chain. Maybe anything over 10,000. If you got over 10,000 subscribers, people might start kind of responding to you. I'm hoping. That's why I need you guys to hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. Share the show out. That stuff's all free. I appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, so we kind of think they just kind of addressed the rest of the case that we have already been discussing. Let's see if we get any more out of this, and then we can go to we'll go to our next story if I can fit it in.
That goal. You're absolutely right that the Salvadorian authorities tried to deceive people. They tried to make it look like he was in paradise. They actually wanted to have the meeting by the hotel pool originally.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We had to negotiate that. They wanted to put me right overlooking the pool. In fact, if you had a different angle on the camera shot, you would see the pool.
Because they did, right. The Bukele put out a statement saying miraculous.
Oh, why? What happened? What'd you do? I didn't do anything. You nasty son of a bitch. Come on. that's just, I mean, it's just so frustrating. I'm just trying to show you guys the news and get through this shit together and, try to fight this fascism and shit. And I can't even watch a fucking video. Like, can I just watch a clip? I'm going to have to go to fucking, jeez, Christ almighty. Heaven. I sound like my grandmother. Rest her soul. Love you. All right, let's see if I can pull this up. I'll go to this so you're not looking at his frozen fucking face the whole time. Yes, show that on stage. Yes, I understand. It couldn't, but yeah, thank you. Hi, guys. I'm Boston Bryant. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I'm a plumber. I do this as, anytime. I do this because I feel like it's important. Put it that way. So bear with me as I fight through the tech and the pop-up nonsense, for crying out loud. All right, let's see if I can find it here. Typically, Asen is really quick on this. I don't know how he does it, but he must have like fucking 40 things recording at all times. He must just have all stations recording at all times. And then like when something important happens, it's like one of those fucking, you ever see the fishing poles the people use down the beach that lights up, right? Like fucking, they're all lit up and it kind of tells you when there's a fucking fish on, the light goes crazy and shit like that. I think that's what Asen does. I think he's got a bunch of I think he just records all stations at all times. And then if anything like important happens, he's got it set up where like the AI is like, hey, this guy said something fucked up. Well, this guy said something awesome. Hey, put this on Twitter. Put this on Blue Sky. You got to do it right here. Like, I don't know how he does it. Let's check out. He might have a couple clips of this on his site here. Let's see. Let's see. He has this. He's got a little bit of Peter Navarro. He's got a little bit of that. He got a little bit of this. Let's see here. How long ago was that? That was 22 hours ago. 22 hours ago. So he doesn't have anything. Let me check. Let me check the old B Sky. Let me check the old B Sky. Happy Easter, by the way. Happy 420, everybody. Like I said, smoke them if you got them. I appreciate you being here with me. Thank you so much. The news says Trump slams Biden in courts in hate-filled Easter message. Oh, that was another thing I was going to show you. That was let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. That's fucking awesome. Let's show you what this asshole said. And isn't he supposed to have like a something on Easter at the White House today? I was looking for it this morning because he says something on True Social about Melania and I look forward to fucking well, they don't look forward to that because they never do, but they look sorry I've been blocked. What? Hold on a second. Check this. I'm blocked from Truth Social? How is that a thing? Check this out. Check this out. What the hell is this? Sorry, you have been blocked from True Social? Can that happen? I didn't even know that was a thing. How is that a thing? How is that a thing? Oh, Jesus. That's fucking priceless. Thank you, big dog. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate that, my friend. Anybody that receives a gifted membership from Damon Dog, make sure you shout out a thank you. But I am confused here. How is this a thing? Something that ain't right. That ain't right. Something ain't. Why have I been blocked? It says this website is using a security service to protect itself from online attacks. The action you just performed triggered the security solution. There are several actions that could trigger this block, including submitting a certain word or phrase, an SQL command, or malformed data. You can email the site owner. Yeah, I'm going to email the site owner. What? Email the site owner? Yeah. What's he going to do? Respond? What is going on, dude? That is great. All right. Well, maybe somebody on Blue Sky has the message. I've never seen that in my life. What is that all about? All right, let me get you guys onto this one. That's wild, huh? Let's go. Let's go. Must be getting out there. Somebody knows my name. Either that or it's just a glitch, which is probably the more likely scenario in this situation. Oh man. Just reboot it. Yeah, let's see if I can. I'll see if I can do maybe just type in Trump Easter and somebody might have the message on here. I'd rather be on here anyway, to tell you the truth. I'd rather be on here anyway. This Pope, they get about the Pope. Let's see. Imagine being this bitter and unhinged. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me share this with you guys. Share it out there. Share it out loud. Share it out proud. Let's go. I don't know if that's gonna work on this. I don't know if that's gonna work on the screen the way he's got it set up though. Let's see what it looks like. It looks like nothing. Why is it? Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Can you guys see that? Or is that way too small? Let me see if I can. I might be able to zoom in on this one. I know I couldn't do it with the video. Zoom. No, it's zooming the background, not the picture. What the fuck? This shit sucks. Who says technology is good? All right, I'll read it for you guys. This is this is the Führer, right? This is fucking El Jefe, right? The acting president, the leader of the Trump cartel, the leader of the Trump regime, the fascist fucks themselves. This is his Happy Easter. So it reads, Happy Easter to all, including the radical left lunatics. Radical left and lunatics are capitalized, who are fighting and scheming so hard to bring murderers, capitalized, drug lords, capitalized, dangerous prisoners, capitalized, the mentally insane, also capitalized, and well-known MS-13 gang members and wife beaters, capitalized, back into our country capitalized. Happy Easter to all. The weak is all capitalized, and ineffective is all capitalized. Judges and law enforcement officials who are allowing the sinister attack on our nation, capitalized, to continue, an attack so violent that it will never be forgotten. Sleepy Joe Biden purposefully allowed millions of criminals, all caps, to enter the country, which is capitalized, totally unvetted and unchecked through an open, capitalized, borders, capitalized, policy, capitalized, that will go down in history as the single most calamitous act ever perpetrated upon America. He was, by far, our worst, all caps, and most incompetent president, capitalized. A man who has absolutely no idea what he was doing, but to him and to the person that ran and manipulated the auto pen, capitalized, perhaps our real president, real, all capitalized, and to all the people who cheated, all caps, in the 2020 presidential election in order to get this highly destructive moron elected. Moron is capitalized, elected is capitalized. I wish you, with great love, sincerity, and affection, a very happy Easter.
Go fuck yourself.
That's what I gotta say. You get 2 times. You get the 2 times.
Go fuck yourself.
Yep, I'll fucking double tap that shit. I'm gonna double tap. Oh man, the guy is he's out of his goddamn mind. He really is. He really is, my friends. He's completely lost it. Well, being led by an absolute madman. Just fascist to the core, too. Just an authoritarian to the core. He might be dumb, stupid, gullible, orange, right? But he is a fucking fascist to the core. Let's see here. All right. Asins. Let's see what Asins got. Let's see here. I'm running out of time. All right. Let's check out. So many things I want to look at. I'm not going to have time to do any of it. Does he have any of the protests on here, I wonder? So he doesn't have any of the. He doesn't have any. He must be taking the weekend off. Must be taking the weekend off. All right. I want to see if there's any of the protests. Let's take a look at some of the protests. How about that? Yesterday. You guys, is that cool with you guys? Take a look at some like-minded people out there raising Cain, baby. Right? Raising some hell peacefully. All right, let's take a look. Hopefully it plays.
For the second time this month, Daley Plaza filled up, city streets shut down for an anti-Trump protest. Today, demonstrators in Chicago coincided with protests all over the country. Arnold Brennan was on the ground, listening to that crowd that carried signs and marched through the loop.
The more people come out, the quicker the government will change.
A sea of people at Daley Plaza want to turn the tide of the Trump administration.
There's a lot of energy. People are very upset right now.
The gathering, called the People's Protest, is organized by the 50-51 movement.
50 states, 50 protests, one movement.
The protest in Chicago is part of a national movement.
And this is nationwide.
Calling on the government to uphold the Constitution.
I wrote, the Constitution doesn't swipe left or right.
And end executive overreach.
We're talking about the Constitution, due process. We're talking about free speech here.
Protesters carry signs promoting democracy and opposing actions of President Trump. At least one protester doesn't need a sign.
I really believe in power of the people.
Because she's dressed as a symbol.
I've been taking a beating. I'm off my pedestal and got knocked down by really thugs and tyrants.
Lady Liberty says she fears for her future.
So many loved ones are hurting, whether it's economically or because they worry about ICE or because they are trans or gay.
It's the second Saturday in 2 weeks that a protest against President Trump has taken over Daley Plaza, a movement peeping for change. Just like on April 5th, protesters take to the street.
I don't know how many are out. Dozens this time around.
A movement of people who keep moving for change.
Now, why? Why on earth? Well, we're at the end anyway. We made it through. We made it through, people. We made it through. All right. So let me go back to this one. Thank you for the reminder. I really do appreciate that, Mike. That was fucking fantastic. Great memory. And let's just go through the Hegseth story if we can. I'm going to get this out of here. All right. We're going to reset. We'll do a little reset. Show me I got low Wi-Fi at the moment. I don't know why. Probably because it's windy out, maybe? I don't understand. I don't know. Why all of a sudden? Can you just give me better Wi-Fi, please and thank you? Please and thank you. It'd be great if you could. All right, let me get rid of that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to this. We're going to show you this story because right now the shit that's going on in the Pentagon is just it's a little glitchy. I think it's because thank you. I appreciate it, Craig. I do appreciate it. I think you're I think it was because the other thing was loaded in the background and I'm trying to get a fucking square block through a circle hole, trying to put everything together on this thing. But let me just share this story out while I got time, and then I will send you guys on your way to be with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and enjoy the day. Enjoy the day. I really hope you do. So let me put this on the screen there for you guys. All right, so complete meltdown. Top Pentagon staff is fired as chaos engulfs Hegseth's inner circle. Now, in any other, what we're going to call an administration, just for the sake of this story, right now is a cartel, more like it, but no other administration, right, with this kind of story, with this kind of shenanigans, with this kind of chaos inside the Pentagon, with the Secretary of Defense, would be kind of like a backstory. There's just no goddamn way that this would be like because right now it is. It's not the biggest thing out there. It's close. But right now, there's just no fucking possible way that this, like, if this was Obama, if this was George Bush, if this was Clinton, and I know they all had their separate issues with different people in their administrations. Believe me, I get that. But they were top headline stories when they happened. But this shit is nuts. Let's dive into it while I got time. All right. An exodus of top staffers reporting directly to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is apparently roiling the Pentagon as a part of a growing investigation into potential leaks. Politico reported Friday that 3 senior Pentagon officials have now been fired as a part of the leak investigation. Hegseth senior advisor Dan Caldwell, so the senior advisor to the Secretary of Defense, the deputy chief of staff to the Secretary of Defense, and the deputy defense secretary Stephen Feinberg's chief of staff have all been terminated officially. And Joe Casper, who was Hegseth's own chief of staff, is now leaving the Pentagon for a separate job in the Pentagon. Let's see. Without staffing changes, the top United States military official is now without a chief of staff, a deputy chief of staff, and a senior advisor less than 100 days into his tenure.
What? How? That is ridiculous. What do you expect? What do you?
That's crazy. That's nuts. I mean, what do you expect? I'm sorry. What? I don't even know what voice would get it across. Let's try this one.
This one. What do you expect when you put the Fox News weekend host that couldn't make the weekday fucking couch, an alcoholic, woman abuser, a fucking serial cheater, Muslim-hating Christian nationalist as Secretary of Defense of the United States of America? What did you think was going to happen?
Sorry. One of these, something's got to get across. All right. An unnamed senior defense official, quote, suggested to Politico that Hegseth made poor choices for who to trust in his inner circle without any source saying there would likely be more chaos to follow in the coming days. Oh, excuse me, with another source. Excuse me. Again, you don't say he had poor choices on who to have in his inner circle. You don't say the alcoholic, woman abusing, serial cheater, right? The guy that couldn't make the weekday couch on Fox. As Secretary of Defense for the sole reason that he served in the military. Ask somebody in the military now if they think that any fucking random person in the military is qualified to be Secretary of Defense. There are highly decorated, long-serving, high-ranked people in the military, soldiers in the military, that would tell you themselves that they are wholly unqualified, at that moment at least, to hold that position. And we put in a drunk, and this is what happens. Okay? With more to come in the coming days. In the coming days, more to come. So this ain't even the end of it. Quote, there is a complete meltdown in the building, and this is really reflecting on Secretary's leadership. Pete Hegseth has surrounded himself with some people who don't have his interest at heart. Additional firings may be announced soon, according to CBS senior White House reporter Jennifer Jacobs. Quote, at least one uninformed Pentagon official, end quote, was also fired in addition to Hegseth's top aides. Chris Meagher, who is Assistant Defense Secretary for Public Affairs during the former President Joe Biden's administration, opined that the exodus of top staff at the Pentagon was proof that the former part-time week Fox News host may not be capable of heading the Department of Defense, and that is the most ridiculous fucking understatement I've ever heard in my life. Opined that the exodus was proof that the former part-time weekend Fox News host may not be capable, is 100%, definitely, without a doubt, no shadow of a doubt, unequivocally, fucking not even a question, wholly unqualified to hold that position. No, there's no way around it. I don't know what this May bullshit is, but you can get that May bullshit and fucking get it the fuck out of here. Right?
Get it the fuck out of here. Get him the fuck. He's definitely unqualified. Don't give me this May bullshit. Say the fucking facts. What you know.
Sorry. Sometimes I get carried away. It's my fault. Quote, everyone knew that Pete Hegseth did not possess the leadership qualities, background, or experience to be Secretary of Defense, end quote. Thank you. Fucking thank you. Fucking thank you. Meager told Politico, quote, everything we've seen since then, the firing of several American heroes, because of the perceived lack of loyalty, the sloppiness of Signalgate, and the complete lack of transparency, and now several political staff being shown the door, has only confirmed he doesn't have what it takes to lead, end quote. All right, little better. Maybe I jumped the gun. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. As Meager mentioned, the current investigation into isn't Hegseth's first scandal as Secretary of Defense. In March, Hegseth shared highly sensitive attack plans for airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen on a Signal group text thread with other top administration officials. And like I said, guys, I mean, it's still a story which I'm fucking thankful for because of the investigation. But you've seen how it's kind of not being talked about as much, kind of been pushed to the fucking back burner a little bit until like things like this come up. I told you that was going to happen. The short fucking time frame, the short memory span, the attention of the retention rate that people have of these things is just because there's so much being thrown at you. And I'm not even faulting the people that, maybe forget already what the hell happened, but it's amazing how big of a story and how much it affects us and how dangerous it can be. That story can like just all of a sudden be put in the shadows because of all the shit that's fucking happening every single day, right? So we got to fight ourselves to keep this in the fucking headlines, make sure people are remembering that, hey, this idiot did this, and this. The one that's doing this, and this now, yeah, he leaked our attack plans. When we were attacking the Houthi, yeah, he put our fucking soldiers in danger. Remember that story? Oh, you do? Good. Okay, keep that in mind. Tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your family at Easter. Make sure that they know, hey, do you know that Sector fucking shared our plans on a Signal chat? Make sure they know that because you'll be surprised. One of our big mistakes is assuming that everybody in this country is as politically involved, is as connected, is as tuned in as somebody like you or I, right? And that's just not the case. I've said it many times on the show. So a lot of people are just focused on their lives, right? They're focused on fucking getting up, getting the kids up, getting them breakfast, right? Getting them fucking out to school, getting them to their fucking soccer games, getting them to their football games, getting them to their field hockey games, getting them to their swim meet, their track meet, right? Getting home, getting the other kids home. If you're going to drive them home, oh, now you got to we got to stop and get dinner. Let's get down. I'm going to make dinner now. By the time everybody's all done, they got a couple minutes to watch the news maybe, or if they're in the car in the morning, they get a couple fucking minutes of the news, right? Other than that, people aren't like tuned in like you or I. I respect you guys, everybody that's here. I appreciate you very much because you're all not only active, but you're tuned in, right? And you're aggressively fighting for this. I know it may not feel like it, but when you get out there and you see the 100,000 people in Boston earlier in April, and you see the fucking people all over this country in states and cities and towns and counties that you never thought that would have these types of protests in them because they're deep red, right? Or they're purple to the point where they're turning red. And now you got fucking 10, 15, even whatever, 100, 200, 300 people out there with signs saying, hey, what the hell is going on? Right, down in Virginia, down in Utah, fucking, just places all over the place that you wouldn't expect to have these protests form, and they are forming, and they're only getting bigger, and they're only going to get more frequent. I've already seen one for the next one, right? More people that are affected, more people that are fired, more people realizing their fucking bank accounts getting sucked dry, more people realizing they're paying more for shit, right? The more people are going to get out there, and unfortunately or fortunately, as Donald Trump would say, the change will not happen, right? The courts can only do so much. The entire judiciary can only do so much. The senators and House and the people in the House and the Senate can only do so much with their limited power right now. It's on us. It is on us. We cannot rely on the Supreme Court. We cannot rely on the rest of the judiciary to do our fucking bidding or to have our backs or to do the right thing. Right? This may not be the end. This may not be the end of the deportations under the Aliens Enemies Act, right? This pause may just be like some stupid thing where they can get the words written down correctly on the page for a way they can go about it. Right? So I'll take the pause as a win, but I'm not fucking holding my breath. I've learned from these situations in the past where I'm not going to fucking rest my laurels on the Supreme Court and their decisions. I'm not going to rest my laurels on fucking the politicians. It's on my back now. Fascism is here. And what you do right now will define how your future is and how people look back upon your fucking history right now. And not only that, how you look back upon yourself. What you did in this moment. Could you have done more? Could you have helped? Did you help? Did you fight? Did you get out there? Did you protest? Did you speak up for others? Or did you wait for somebody to speak up for you? But there was nobody left. So right now is our moment. And if we don't stand up, and if we don't fight, right, and if we don't get out there and peacefully protest and get our voices heard and let them know we're not fucking dealing with this shit anymore, that's when shit's going to change. When 100,000 turns into 500,000 and 500,000 turns into 2 million and 2 million turns into 5 million, that's when fucking shit's going to change. When people aren't at work, when these corporations aren't making money because everybody's in the fucking streets with a sign protesting Donald Trump's fucking cartel, that's when the fucking business is going to realize, okay, these people are serious now. The people that actually put the fucking pits together, the people that actually make the fucking shit that we buy, right? The people that actually work in the retail, the people that actually work in the restaurants, the people that actually work in the law firms, that make these corporations, that make these fucking conglomerates so much of their money while giving us fucking shit, while we fucking struggle day after day after day to pay our rent, to put food on the table. And they're buying their fucking 7th yacht, flying to fucking Tahiti and back and whatever the fuck. No more. No fucking more. All right? Until we get some fucking health care for everybody. Until we start putting money and attention and time into the unions in this fucking country. Until we make fucking education and colleges easier to get into and free to get into. So people can have the knowledge and the power to fight through the fucking fascism. To know that it's bullshit. They want to keep you stupid. Why do you think it's so fucking much to get into these colleges, right? Why do you think these colleges have so much fucking power right now? No tax breaks for the rich, right? Fuck you. How about we raise the minimum wage to fucking $30 so people can have a better life? They can work one single job instead of 3 or 4 fucking jobs. So they can have some time for themselves. So they can have some fucking R&R. So they can see their family and their kids and build fucking, relationships and fucking neighbors can meet with each other and stick together and have cookouts and, build a better society. Fuck. All right, let's thank you guys. Get you out of here before I get all fucking. One day, buddy. One day. All right, let's go. Sheldon, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you for the 1 gifted. Noah Dez, as always, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Tiffany, you're the best. Appreciate your services. Happy Easter to you guys. Happy Easter to fam. Love to all. 420, let's go. I appreciate you. I do have to blow my nose, though. That's just something that's going to happen. Other than that, it's going to come out while I'm reading these. Give me a second. Yeah, I'll play this. It's like a waiting song. How about that?
Yo, here to demolish myth. Blunt politics thrive, truth grenades explode, man, we changing the vibe. Boston thoughts raw, sharper than a Bay State blade. This progressive mic smashing systems they made. Blunt talk, no cap, we slicing with precision. Anti-fascist flames burning up the division. From the streets to the airwaves, knowledge collisions. Boston in the building, sharp edge decision.
All right, we're back, sorry. Corporate lies crumble. Hammer drops on stone. All right, let's go. Where was I? My apologies. Tiffany, thank you so much. Happy Easter. Sheldon, again, thank you so much. Again, happy Easter to everybody. Happy 420. Hope you guys are having a great day, whatever you're celebrating, however you're celebrating, and whoever you're with. Hope you're with friends, family, loved ones, having some drinks, having some laughs, right? Thank you so much, Tanya. You're the best. Thank you for your services. Thank you for being here as a member for 8 months on top of the time and attention you put into the chat. So happy Easter, and we thank you guys so much. We thank all the mods so much. Mark, Tanya, Rox, fuck, I'm forgetting a million of them right now. Adam, fucking Turpy. Sorry if I'm forgetting everybody, but there's a lot of you guys, and you guys are the best. Lokera, fucking the whole shebang. The whole shebang. I appreciate it if I forgot anybody. I get in trouble when I start listing everything because I always leave somebody out. I'm sorry. Moms, thank you so much for the 5. I do appreciate it. Love right back at you from me and Mel and Logan. You guys are the best. Happy Easter to Sally. Thank you, Pope Francis, for making JD take a humanitarian lesson. Thank you so much for the 5, Sally. I appreciate you. Again, hope you have a wonderful Easter with whoever you may be celebrating with. Thank you, Vinny. Let's go. 6 months for Vinny. Appreciate you. It's worth $2.99 or Boss Brian. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check into that. I've been saying $1.99. It used to be $1.99. I don't know what happened. I didn't change it. I know that. Slacks. How about this? Ready?
Slacks. What's up, Slacks? I appreciate you, Slacks. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Sorry. All right. Get serious. Thank you, Slacks. Appreciate you, brother. Right back at you. Unfortunate altar boy. Let's go. Sorry, all I can afford. Still homeless. Keep it up. What? Dude. Fucking, I'll send that right back. Send me. You got a Venmo or a fucking Cash App, PayPal, whatever the fuck. Just put it, please. Send that to my email. If you do, I will send that right back in a fucking heartbeat. Plus some, dude. Get out of here. Don't be giving me shit when you get. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing. That's the shit that keeps me up at night. That's the shit that I don't want. That's that shit I don't like. Right? Come on. I very much appreciate it more than you know. I really do. But I will not be able to sleep at night knowing that somebody in that position is giving to me. That's fucking outrageous. So please, if you got a PayPal, Cash App, fucking whatever, I don't care if I get a fucking slap it to a fucking pigeon's asshole and send it to you, I will send you that $2 back. Find some way. All right, JD, thank you so much. Tech Pro bonus. I'll get there. Well, I got a surprise coming for you guys. You might be a little shocked. You might be a little shocked and impressed. So just bear with me for these next couple shows, and we'll see how it changes. All right, thank you, Sally, so much. I appreciate the gifted membership. You are the best. Damon Dog being here for 6 months warms my heart. Oh snap! 6 months on 422 groovy. Thanks, Brian. Let's go. Right. Celebratory little Lizzie. All right, Wes, thank you so much for the Ray Bork, dude. No one man has the power. Big Donnie Orange is testing his limits. 100-day honeymoon. The courts are already working weekends. Correct. I appreciate you, Wes. Thank you so much for the contribution. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're well, man. I hope you have a great Easter. Thank you so much. And yeah, but like I said, courts can only do so much. And let's be what do you want to call it? Let's be ready to combat whatever decision comes out of this after the pause, right? Let's be ready to, if they rule against it and they continue to send these people out, I mean, not rule against it, but if they come out with some other way to do it and just kind of rewrite the law a little bit to make it legal, then we got to get out there and fight, because that shit ain't right. All right. But thank you, Wes. I do appreciate it. Thank you, JD, for the 5 gifted memberships. You are fucking fantastic, and I really do appreciate you. Happy Easter. Let's go, Slacks. Russia can kiss Ukraine's arsenal. That's great. That should be a t-shirt. That should be a t-shirt, but it might only work in Europe. I don't think anybody in the States would get it. But I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. You're the best. You really are. Thank you, Yvonne. Fucking 10 gifted. Let's go. Yvonne and Nordez and JD and all you guys are gonna literally single-handedly get me to 15,000, and I'm starting to feel bad. I'm starting to feel bad that I can't attract more viewers, right? More viewers. We need more blood. We need fresh blood in here listening. I know I'm not for everybody. I do understand that, but I hope everybody can kind of feel where my heart's at and know that I'm on the right side of history, I promise. And that, I'm fighting for you guys and I'm speaking up for others, right? because I want people to be there if I have to speak up for myself. I'd like, people around that may be able to assist me, because at some point in my life, which has already happened, but I'm just kind of making this a point, because at some point in your life, you are going to need help from other people, and you're not going to care if he's black, brown, silver, gold, right? You don't give a fuck what he is. So live your life like that, not giving a fuck what he is, but how he treats you, or how he or she treats you. He, she, or they treats you, right? Treat people how you would like to be treated. It's fucking very simple. It really is. It's not a hard concept. And I understand we have some fucking long-term, what do you call fucking CTE in this country from, the Civil War and down south, and people not actually getting over or knowing or caring about what was actually being fought over in that war, what that war represented, right? So let's see here. Yvonne, and then we go to I'm lost. No, Josh, thank you, Yvonne, so much. Happy Easter. I appreciate that. We Ferris Bueller our way into fascism. I like this one. Josh. This is a good one. I like that one. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I appreciate the contribution. That one's good. I like that one. Colleen, thank you so much for the 5. We'll all be carrying briefcases, backpacks with all, quote, documentation of our citizenship wherever we go if we stop fighting. And that is literally where we're heading. We're actually not far from that now. And I know you're speaking about all citizens, but again, there's a fine fucking line when a government feels like they have the power to not only deport people at will, but without due process. They will find a reason. Hey, guess what? You spoke out about our deportations, did you? Okay, see you later. How about that? Speak out about it now. You spoke out about the fucking tariffs, right? You don't like the tariffs that we're doing? Okay, see you later. You're a lefty? Okay, see you later. Oh, you're black? See you later. There's a fine fucking line. And guess what? It wasn't all Jews in the concentration camps. It wasn't all Jews in there. Gypsies, Russians. You got Italians, you got the lot, right? Remember, right? You got fucking German citizens in there. It's fucking a fine line. That's the only point I'm trying to get across, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Colleen. I hope you have a great Easter. Yvonne, let's go. Thank you for the... Oh, fuck, I do it every time. That's pounds? The symbols get me. They both look like an E. I should know. I'm pretty sure that's pounds, and the other one's euro. With the loop. I think the euro's got a loop. The Supreme Court gave Donald immunity. Can't they reverse their decision, Boston Brian? That's a great question. I'm not well versed on the parliamentary proceedings of the Supreme Court, so to speak. I don't see why there wouldn't be any reason why they couldn't. If they overturned Roe v. Wade, if they've walked back other decisions, I don't see why that would be any different. But yeah, a good question. I appreciate you, Vaughn. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Joy coming in with 20. Deportation of immigrants without a hearing is an outright violation of the United States Constitution. I mean, the fact that Joy in the chat of the fine Bryantologists in the Church of Bryantology, all you lobsters are smarter. You have more fucking sense in your left pinky than the entire Trump cartel does, right? And I am very privileged, and I'm honored to have such knowledgeable, hard-fighting, aggressive, but also compassionate, peaceful, loving, caring people in the chat. You guys are some of the best of the best. And, I just hope you know that it's not for just being in my chat. Obviously, it's because I see you guys in all the chats, all the channels that are supporting democracy and fighting fascism. You guys are in there and talking and conversing and, contributing to the conversation and helping these channels grow. And it's going to be because of people like you and Joy and JD and everybody else and Mark and fucking, the lot that's going to, help me to get to that level where we can, stop making a difference. Because right now, I have the feeling like I'm pissing into the wind, so to speak, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's hard to break through and to get to people to watch, because live streams, like where YouTube is at right now, is like videos. Like you got to have the time to not only do the live stream, but afterwards cut it up into sections, send it out as videos during the week. So you got fucking constant content coming out, people looking at your channel. Because it's hard to get just live streams. If you're just doing live streams, it's harder to get subscribers, I've found. But and I, with being a plumber, a full-time plumber, I don't have the time to sit and watch my show back fully, so I can be like, okay, that's the fucking clips, that's the clips there. You know what I mean? So hopefully one day I'm in a position where I can maybe pay somebody to do it or have the time myself to do it. That would be fantastic. But that's only going to be because of people like you. And again, I hate asking for it. I don't like that part of it. But it's just the necessary reality of this business is, if I'm going to live a life, if I'm going to be able to, support myself, and you guys have been fantastic in trying to help my move to see Mel, and I'd like to report that I'd say, I think we're just about there, and I really do appreciate you doing it. But I don't know, it's hard to explain that I don't like this side of YouTube and doing this stuff and having to, ask you guys for your contributions and help. It's just, I don't like that part of it. I really don't. But like I said, it's a necessary reality. So I appreciate the people that do come out of pocket, that do contribute. And I also appreciate the people that just subscribe and chat and do the free stuff, because that helps as well. So thank you so much. I'm off on a tangent on that one. Sorry. Thank you, Mark. Let's go. Happy Easter Day, or Happy Bunny Day. Thank you, Boston Brian, for all for keeping your voices heard. Democracy dies in silence. Sorry, Mark, I butchered that one. Let's see. Thank you so much, Mark. I do appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful Easter, my man. Happy 420 if you do partake. If you don't, it's okay. Thank you so much, Colleen. Trump's quote Easter message is the sacred St. John's associated with politicians was awful, and social posts re Easter quote greeting are hell worthy, in my opinion. It's just yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Colleen. I appreciate you. Happy Easter once again. I appreciate you. Pam dropping by to say hi to the YouTube lobsters. I'm in Facebook talking to myself. So normal day. Oh, I'm sorry, Pam. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate all the people on Facebook. Maybe it's just you. I understand that's not a prevalent platform where lefties are getting on there to watch live streams. But the YouTube fucking people, unbelievable. Twitch people, unbelievable. And anybody that's watching on Instagram, I really do appreciate it. Share it out, hit the like button, whatever you need to do. That's fantastic. Or if you don't like, thumbs down. I'm sure that helps some weird way in the algorithm too. But Pam, you're not alone. You're not talking to yourself. We wish you a wonderful and happy and fruitful Easter with your friends, family, and loved ones. And thank you so much for dropping by. And your dog looks fantastic. Tell the pup I said hi. I love dogs so much. Thank you. Speaking of dogs, let's go. How's that for a transition? Huh? Thank you, Big Dog, for the 5 gifted. You fantastic bastard, you. Huh? What a fantastic bastard. You're the best. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And make sure, like I said, anybody that got one from my man Damon Dog, make sure you thank him. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Bicycle Mike. Let's go. F Donald J. Trump. F cancer. F hate. F Donald J. Trump. Bicycle Mike, we're with you, brother. We're with you, my man. I was thinking about you this week. Like I said, use the email if you want to keep in touch, and fucking whatever you need to do, I'm here for you, dude. So I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for spending your time here. And once again, happy Easter. Jerry, thank you so much. Happy 420. Happy Easter. What's that say? It's hard to read the emojis on StreamYard. I think it's a chick coming out of the egg, and I think it's a bunny. So basically, happy Easter to everybody. What is the USCA? I think that's Ukraine flag, the US flag, and what's the other one? What's USCA? What's CA? I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. But Jerry, you're fantastic. Thank you so much for being here every week, every show. You're really odd. I mean, just one of the OGs. So thank you so much, Jerry. Boston Brian, with eggs costing what they do, and some families can't afford them, Trump ordered 80,000 eggs for the White House egg hunt. That POS. Well, they probably came straight from where were they getting them? Turkey? I forget now where they imported the eggs from when the prices started to skyrocket and we had the problem with the avian flu there, right? They shipped them in. Was it Turkey? I forget now. It was one of those things. So, yeah, I mean, that's right up, seems right up their alley. Seems like exactly something they do. Have you ever seen the movie? It reminds me of the movie, fucking The Man with the Iron Mask, right? The Man in the Iron Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio. Great flick. But it reminds me of the part where, fuck, now I'm going to forget all their names. I hate when I do this. I get on there, I forget the names. But the head musketeer, and somebody's going to put it in the chat. Why? The fact that I can't think of it right now is going to annoy me to no end. But the head musketeer at the time realizes that the townspeople have been given rotten food, right? Yes, Turkey and South Korea. Thank you, Josh. Oop, did I get it? Yep. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you. Yes, 80,000. That's a crap load for one thing. Yep, Jeremy Irons. Jesus, D'Artagnan. Thank you so much. God damn it. So mad at myself. I'm so bad at like getting things on the spot. Like I know that like I'll get it 5 minutes. I'll be like, oh, D'Artagnan. But he brings him like I think it was a tomato or an apple or something like that, right? And he just says, "Oh yeah, you're right. It is rotten." He fucking puts it on the sword. He eats it. Yes, I'll talk to the king. And he talks to the king, and the king, who is Leonardo DiCaprio, actually has the man that he told to give the townspeople rotten food killed for obeying the king's order to give them rotten food, right? So it's like it's kind of like what this is what they do. The fucking the kings, they take what the townspeople need. They take all the food. They have the parties, and they give them the scraps, right? They give them whatever's left over, the food that had been sitting there rotten, right? Oh, you need eggs? Okay, we'll take 80,000 of those things. Let me take 80,000 of those suckers. But that's what I was trying to get across. All right, back to where was I? Am I going to lose my spot? No, it was the eggs. Thank you so much, Rachel. I appreciate you. Couldn't make it to Boston. Came out to Springfield. They didn't do anything in Boston. Well, there was people out there. I don't want to say they didn't do anything, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like last time because, like I said, the security concerns and what happened in 2013 and Patriots Day and the marathon obviously is a huge thing here. So there's going to be a shitload of people in the city, and I agree with their decision to not make it affiliated or anybody out there who wasn't a big thing. You know what I mean? They want to keep everybody safe. So thank you, Rachel. But I appreciate you very much for going out to Springfield, getting your voice heard, getting out there is very important. And I hope you have a wonderful Easter. I really do. So thank you. Thank you, Nordez, again, dude. You're like a fucking gifting. You're like a membership gifting machine. Incredible. Thank you, Nordez. Appreciate that so much. And congratulations again. I hope you two get together. Let's go. Let's go. Kerosene Cara. What a fucking name that is. Holy shit. Kerosene Cara. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. That is fantastic. Great name. Great name. Thank you so much, Colleen. Boston Brian in chat. Family, please make time for your quiet, reflective strength, spirituality, or whatever time to replenish. Absolutely, Colleen. Very important. And I hope that's what you guys do right after this with your friends, family, and loved ones. Like I said, just go and shoot the shit. Just watch some sports or whatever's on, and kind of space out for a little bit from at least the world of the crazy politics that's going on right now. Eat some good food, have a couple good drinks, have some laughs, right? And then we can come back strong and more determined than ever. So thank you, Colleen. You're absolutely right. I appreciate that. Robin says, hi, B. Can we stop him now while he's just a pussy-ass bitch gangster punk from Queens before he's a real dictator? I'd say right now, well, again, that would be considered hyperbolic, I would say, to say he's a dictator at this point, because he obviously doesn't have full control. But again, to say that we are under fascism, right? This is fascism. That this is authoritarian. This is fascism, right? Just because he doesn't have full control now, and again, you're absolutely right. What can we do before he gets there? What we're doing now, like I said, the more we get on the streets, that's what's going to stop him, right? That will stop him the quickest. If you want the answer, that's the answer. The answer is to have everybody somehow hear a certain date that people are protesting all over the country, and have everybody, or a lot of fucking people, or a majority, or an overwhelming amount of people, not go to work for either a day or 2 days or 3 days, or we pick a week and we fucking protest all week. And these companies lose millions and millions and millions of dollars because nobody's sitting there fucking putting the fucking shit together, or doing the little bits, or sweeping the floors, selling you shit. No. They're in Washington, D.C. Nope, they're in Boston. They're in New York. They're in Springfield, Chicago. They're in fucking, Salt Lake City. They're all over the joint. That's where they are. You want to find where your workers are? They're protesting. And that's when people are going to take notice. So that's the fastest way. Uh-oh, hold on. Mom's calling. You got to answer when mom calls. Hello? I'm on the show. I'm ending now. I'm sorry I'm late. I apologize. Oh, you're the best. Thank you so much. I was going to forget that too. The chat says Happy Easter. I'm not gonna. I'll be there. I'll be there as soon as possible. Give me like 20 minutes. All right. Love you. Bye. All right. Sorry. I went over. I always do. That's my fault. My mom's calling me. You got Easter dinner to eat, and I'm kind of late for it. So let me see if I can fly through these, and I do apologize. We're going to go Sheldon. Thank you so much. Sally, thank you so much. Jenny Faye, thank you so much. I'll read it up because you took the time. Hi, Brian and Lobsters. I'm driving back to Florida again. If you are still able, call or hug your dads. Mine's passed away yesterday morning. You never know when the last time you're going to see them will be. Oh, fuck, Jenny. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That's awful. Fuck. Well, my sincerest condolences to you. Fuck. If you need anything, please let me know. Thank you for the 20. I really do appreciate that for the contribution. It's very nice of you. I'm very sorry. Oh, that one got me. Sheldon, thank you so much. Fuck me. Sorry, not you, Sheldon. All righty. The whole dad thing got me. All right, thank you, Jim. Brian, we have a fantastic family here. Sorry, Sheldon. We have a fantastic family here. We absolutely do. And I hope we continue to support one another like we have been. So thank you so much. Jim, thank you so much. Keep praying for our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. I appreciate that, Jim. I appreciate that. I smoke and I know things. Hey, Brian, got here super fucking late. Don't worry about it. We appreciate you. You can wash it back if you want. If not, I just appreciate you being here and your contributions. Thank you much for being a member, too. Thank you so much. Happy Easter. And Patrick to round it out. Happy Easter, Brian. Thanks for all you do. You guys are fantastic. I couldn't thank you guys enough. I really can't. Why do I get to do this on camera? Oh, Jenny, I'm so sorry. All right. I got to go see my fam, guys. Sorry to end it like this, but I hope you guys have a happy Easter. Enjoy the time and, with your loved ones and your friends and your family. Please do. I am out. Fuck. Jenny got me. Believe me. I am so sorry for your loss, Jenny. I hope you, I hope you're surrounded by friends and loved ones today, especially. So I appreciate you. I hope you have a great one. I'm so sorry once again. And, let me get out of here so I can go hug my mom. Oh, boy. All right. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time. I'll be here. What's today? I'll be on Wednesday night, 8:30. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel, please. I appreciate it. I don't always end in a mess like this, but, I feel for Jenny, and I just couldn't imagine. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Later.